Hey, welcome back to another episode of Simple Truth Television. Today is October 24th, 2023. We just saw the conclusion of the NLCS. The Phillies lost to the Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks are going to the World Series to play against the Rangers. What was it, 2 weeks ago? I think it was. I made a video saying that I thought the Phillies was going to go to the World Series and actually win it. Because the World Series this year starts on Philadelphia's birthday, which is October 27th. And, I was wrong about that. But, the things that I've noticed about the reason I had the Phillies is because, this is the year of the 119th World Series. And names like Bryce Harper has gematria of 119. And, in years prior, stuff like this will come through. Like, for example, like the Seahawks, right? Look at this. You guys see how Seahawks equals 48? And you look up who went to Super Bowl 48. Look at this, Super Bowl 48. Look who the champion was, right? The champion was the Seattle Seahawks. They won Super Bowl 48. And notice in gematria, Seahawks equals 48, right? A couple of years ago, they had it was the 53rd Super Bowl, and they had Los Angeles Rams in there. Los Angeles equals 53, and they was playing against the Patriots. And Patriots is 53. All right, this year, I thought it was going to be Philadelphia Phillies because in gematria, Philadelphia Phillies, using the single reduction, it has gematria of 119. Again, this is the year of the 119th World Series. And then the World Series starts on their birthday. And I gotta give them the Illuminati a lot of credit. I mean, these people know how to do this stuff and know how to confuse the decoders. I really think that they're doing this to confuse the people decoding it. Because why is this stuff so challenging all of a sudden? It wasn't this complicated years prior. I really think they're doing this on purpose. I mean, why schedule the World Series for that date? Such a significant date to Philadelphia. And if you guys remember back in 2008, I think it was, when they won the World Series against the Tampa Bay Rays, they won it on October 27th because that is their anniversary. That is their birthday. So a very special day for Philadelphia, October 27th. But when I was doing a decode this morning, once I make a prediction and I make it public, I don't like going back. I don't like, coming back and saying, I don't like them anymore because of this. I like to write it out. And if I get it wrong, I'll get it wrong. And then I'll come back and say, this is why I got it wrong. And I accept being wrong. But when I was doing the decode this morning, I was looking at the date numerology for the day. Right, because today was Game 7. We just saw the Rangers advance to the World Series. And we know George Bush is from Texas, right? Big Rangers fan. And I was looking at date numerology. And this shit was freaking me out. Because I was like, look at this. A 77 date numerology. A 41 date numerology, and today leaves 68 days left in the year. And if you're familiar with the September 11th tragedy, those were the big numbers in that ritual. Because remember, it was Flight 77 that hit the 77-foot Pentagon on the 77th meridian 77 minutes after takeoff. Flight 77. So think about the Arizona Diamondbacks, the team that won the World Series the year that the Twin Towers came down. They haven't been to the World Series since 2001. That was the last time they went, when the towers came down. So they advanced to the World Series on the 77 day numerology. And of course, 41 matters because USA equals 41. And the towers came down on the day with 41 numerology. And of course, the 68 matters because what we know about the year 1968. That was the year that George Bush graduated from Yale University. Also the year that the construction for the Twin Towers began. Right? Same year that 911 was made a national emergency dialing code. So, of course, in the 119th World Series, which is just like the date, September 11th, 119, of course, they're going to have the two teams that are associated with that event in the World Series, right? Texas Rangers, because George Bush was the president in 2001, and he's a big Rangers fan, lives in Texas. And the team that won the World Series the year that the Twin Towers came down, the Arizona Diamondbacks. Obviously, this is all this is all after the fact, right? But it just The reason I wanted to come back on live and just explain myself is because, you know, this is what I've been trying to tell you guys all, like, this whole time I've been teaching this stuff, right? Like, isn't this shit sick? Like, I would have preferred the Phillies go because, okay, they go, they win the World Series. It's a tribute to their history, blah, blah, blah. But now that they didn't go, and now that they got the Rangers and the Diamondbacks in it, now I know exactly why those two teams are there and how it's a tribute to terrorism and tragedy. It makes it even worse. It makes it worse because I'm like, look at that. Look at that. They're celebrating terrorism. That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. And that's why people need to wake up to the rigging of these sports games and stop. And, stop supporting it. And two, people gotta get off their ass and do something about this shit, man. 22 years later, here they are still celebrating that tragedy that took the lives of so many people. And they're doing it in the worst way possible. They're making people, pay tickets, watch the games for 3 hours, cheer on for their team when their team is actually performing a satanic ritual. I mean, this stuff is sick. It's just sick. So, like what I was saying earlier, when I was looking at these numbers earlier today, I was like, man, are they really going to do the George Bush tribute in the World Series? Because, I mean, just look at these numbers, right? And, of course, another thing that was freaking me out, the 6 in the postseason, the Philadelphia Phillies Eagles, 106, right? Another thing that was freaking me out this morning. But like I said, you got to pick one team, and only one of those two teams has the 119 connection, and that's the Phillies. So that's why I went with the Phillies, and I rolled with them until the end, until the last inning. And if you guys heard, oh my God, this is what makes it even more sick. If you was watching the game, you heard the commentator. He said, "Oh, this is the team that lost 110 games the other 2 seasons ago." And notice in 2021 they lost 110 games. And what we know about 110 and September 11th. And keep in mind that today's 110 days after George Bush's birthday. If you didn't know, 110 it's a special number. That's how many floors the Twin Towers had. Man, these people are something else. And that's the thing that freaks me out. And another thing, when I was watching the game, they put up a stat on the screen that said that the Diamondbacks were 3-1 in I guess game 7s, I think it was. I was like, look at that. On day 41 numerology, they could be coming 4-1. But it's just sick because how many times are they gonna continue to pay tribute to something that people are still not awake to, and it's really people's fault. People are more concerned with cashing out their futures and stuff like that, not realizing that this shit is way bigger than money. That shit is way bigger than money. And for the record, this is what I want you guys to understand. Like, me getting one pick incorrect. I mean, if I was really bad at this, you guys, I wouldn't even have any Patreons. The reason I have people supporting me on the Patreon is because of how effective I am predicting sports games. This was the 3-team parlay that I gave out today, and obviously we got the Phillies wrong. But in hockey, we took the Boston Bruins and the Vegas Golden Knights, and last time I checked, those teams were doing very good. So, and this is what I do every day, right? Every day we're coming real close to hitting or actually hitting all 3 of the other teams that I give out on the parlays. So right now the Flyers they just tied it with the Golden Knights, but I think the Bruins already closed it out. So right there, the Bruins won 3-0, and I do expect the Golden Knights to win it. So even when I'm wrong, it's not like we're way off, because having the knowledge is gonna make you a better sports bettor. And it is good to make some money off of this stuff, but really my goal is it's not so much to get the team correct, who's gonna win the game. I want to solve what the ritual is. That's really my goal. And if I do that correctly and I do a good job at it, then we're gonna get the team right. The winner. We're gonna get the winner correct. But so that's the challenging part. it's not really about picking a team that's gonna win, because there was a bunch of people that had the Diamondbacks that don't know anything about what's really gonna go down in this World Series. They don't really know exactly what all this means, why these two teams are there. So it's not about picking the winner. My job, I don't want to speak for anybody else, but my job is to predict what the ritual is, and if I'm able to complete that successfully, then we're gonna get the winner correctly. Obviously I got the ritual wrong, so I got the team wrong. You see, so getting the ritual correct, that is step number one. If you're able to accomplish that, then you're gonna get the team correctly. And like I said, this stuff is sick, man. 119. I mean, that number was it was right in our face from the beginning of the season. I just didn't think they was gonna pay tribute to 9/11. I mean, why? But my only guess is the reason they're doing this is because George Bush is 77 years old. I think that's the reason they're doing this now. Because why else do they be paying tribute to 9/11 right now? This is my only guess, is that the man behind the attacks of September 11th is 77 years old. That is my only guess. So of course they're gonna do it in the 119th World Series. Maybe he dies before he's turned 78. Hopefully he does. Hopefully, this will be the end of his terrorist attack himself, Mr. 9/11. I want to wish death on people, but come on, this guy right here, this is the Grim Reaper in flesh right here, the Grim Reaper. So yeah, so the announcer brings up that the Diamondbacks lost 110 games in the 2001 season, reminding us what this ritual is all about. Twin Towers, 110 floors. Each of the Twin Towers had 110 floors. Look at that. If you guys want to call in, the number's on the screen, 646-986-0958. You can call in for any reason, anything that you want to add on to what we witnessed here today. And, we can talk about it. Obviously, there's only two teams left, and I'm not going to make another video saying who I got to win. I'm going to take it game by game, and only the patrons will know who I have. There's a narrative. I'll say this right now. There's a narrative for both teams, right? If the Rangers win the World Series, their manager picks up his 57th postseason win. But if the Diamondbacks win it, they'll win the 52nd World Series for the National League. And Texas Rangers is 52. And I think I said it. World Series is 57. So both teams have a narrative. So I'm not going to make any more predictions. I'm just going to take it game by game. Look at the pitchers, look at the coaching records, look at measure for people's birthdays. I do know one thing, though. The Rangers manager, November 3rd, will be 201 days after his birthday. So they could close it out in 6 if they chose to go with that. But I'm gonna take it step by step, because I am way more successful doing it that way. Trying to predict, like, once the playoffs starts, trying to predict who's gonna win out of all of these teams. It's really difficult because there's so many narratives on the table. It's kind of hard to choose which one is the correct one. Some years are easier than others because, like last year, when I picked the Astros to win it, it was so obvious because they scheduled Game 6 for November 5th, which was the anniversary of the Travis Scott concert tragedy. And then I went back to look. I looked at the release date of the Astro World album, and I measured from that date to the date to Game 6, and I noticed that the Astros had played 665 games, and that November 5th game was their 666. So, some years we are able to, like I said, if you're able to solve the ritual, you're gonna get the winner correctly. But some years, like, this year was a little difficult, even though it was right in our face, that 119. But like I said, the Phillies had a big 119 connection. Not only with Bryce Harper, but the name of their team. So this is what I'm saying. It gets a little tricky sometimes. But even the World Series is tricky, even though there's only 2 teams left. Like I said, both teams have a narrative. Are they going to go with the 52 or are they going to go with the 57? Either team that wins is really paying tribute to 9/11. Really, to me, it will make more sense for the Rangers to win if this is truly a George Bush tribute, because that is his team. But just want to see, because I was looking at November 3rd for the. I thought the Phillies was going to win on that date. 7/6, the day the devil was born. That'll be 120 days after George Bush's birthday. You gotta love how they got the date numerology lining up perfectly with his birthday. I think that the Rangers do play a game on November 2nd. Let me just look it up. World Series schedule. Like I said, the phone line is open if you guys want to call in. So no game on November 2nd. There's a game on November 1st and November 3rd. November 3rd is game 6. And if you was wondering why the Arizona Diamondbacks won 4-2, it's because of gematria, man. Look at this. Diamondbacks 42. Arizona 42. If you guys heard the announcer kept saying the Diamondback Arizona leads 4-2. The score is 4-2 Arizona. Yeah, the phone. I don't know if there's the number on the screen. Yeah, I think the number is on the screen. 646-986-0958. If anybody else wants to call in. Yeah, I hit a lick sports picks. He follows me on Instagram. He does a good job. Thanks a lot for the super chat. Appreciate that. Oh yeah, Lorenzo. Shout out to Lorenzo. Yeah, and last year was easy because of what happened to Takeoff. Right, he died in Houston. Takeoff Rockets. Yes, like I said, some years are just easier because they do a lot more rituals than this year. I haven't seen a lot of people pass away in connection to the World Series this year. And remember when the Braves won? That was easy too because of Hank Aaron. Hank Aaron had passed away, and they had Dusty Baker versus Hank Aaron in the World Series. No, Dusty Baker versus the Braves, Hank Aaron's old team. So, the 6 seed versus the 5 seed, the 5-6 seed, 56. So it looks like nobody wants to call in. So TK Kirkland says, you hit the parlays? Yeah, I mean, we hit a lot of parlays. I think I went a week. I don't know if it was last week or a week prior to that. We hit 5 parlays in 7 days. Those of you on the Patreon know that I'm not making this up. We hit 5 parlays in 7 days. I know people that bet and can't hit a parlay in a month. Or they all go months without hitting one. We hit 5 of them. I'm saying, having the knowledge is always better than not having it. I think a lot of people are not as successful in betting and sports betting is because they don't have the knowledge. And the knowledge could backfire. Like, it backfired now for me. Because I didn't do the right research. And it wasn't easy. Like, if those of you I see a few people talking shit in the comment section. Like, if I was to ask you, you see, this is what I'm saying about you guys, right? You guys don't have any balls like I do. Like, if I ask any of you to make a video right now and tell the world right now, showing some research and so on, showing some numbers, right? Who's gonna win the World Series? Either are the Rangers gonna win or are the Diamondbacks gonna win? And I want you to put up a presentation together and show people why you chose the team that you chose. None of you will do it because one, a lot of you don't know how to do it. Two, you don't have the balls to make a pick and stand by it until the end. And then when you're wrong or either wrong or right, come back on live and admit that you was wrong or right. A lot of you don't have those three things, right? You don't have the skill set to do the decode. You don't have the balls to make a decision. And you don't have the balls to face your audience after you was right or wrong. You don't have the balls. If you don't have those three things, you can't say anything about me. Because I have all those three things. And I have a catalog. I've shown people how I've gotten stuff correct. I've got stuff wrong. I got a lot of shit wrong. And every time I get something wrong, I always learn from my mistakes. That's how I'm able to go 5 out of 7, hit 5 parlays in 7 days. The only reason I'm able to do that is because I was wrong in the Super Bowl last year. I was wrong this year. I was wrong in the NBA Finals the year before that. That's the only reason I'm able to do all this now. See? A lot of you need to learn that. Making mistakes is actually a good thing. Hello?
Hello?
How you doing, man? Thank you for the call.
I noticed something before the game.
I said, how you doing? Thank you for the call. You want to ask me how I'm doing?
Yes, sir. How you doing?
I'm good, man. Thank you, man. What's going on?
Before the game, I noticed something.
I said, what's going on? What's on your mind?
So, Arizona equals 42, like Diamondbacks.
Yes.
Hamas and War also equal 42.
Yes. Oh, good point.
And this was played on the anniversary of Jackie Robinson dying.
Exactly. Who water number 42? Yep.
And the Diamondbacks stayed on 42 road losses this season and won 4-2.
They lost 42 road. That's including the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Good. That's a good point.
Championship equals 68, and the Phillies stayed on 68.
They stayed on. Yeah, that was the tricky part because it was also 69 days after the Phillies manager's birthday, so they made it a little tricky with that. They could have picked up their 69th postseason win 69 days after his birthday, or stay on 68 wins on the day, leaving 68 days left in the year. So they went with the 68.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else?
No.
Who you think is going to win the World Series out of the two teams that are remaining?
I think it'll be the Rangers.
You have a reason?
Well, Rangers equals 107. And I was looking at I've seen a lot of 107 in connection to this war. But also, Dallas, Texas has that 28.
Yeah, military is 107.
Yeah.
So where does the 107 come into play? Where does the 107 come into play?
With the Rangers?
With the record?
With their name. Rangers equals 107.
Okay, so Rangers 107 like military. Okay. All right. Anything else?
I noticed the Mavericks have the same colors as Israel, and they also have playing in the 28th state. Dallas, Texas also equals 28. And it's the 77th season. Judaism, 77. Luka Doncic wears number 77. And Kyrie Irving has the Israel connections.
I like what you pointed out about the color scheme with the Rangers and Israel. I like that because they've been doing that recently.
Also, notice how Blackhawks equals 28, and they have the exact colors as the Palestine flag.
Okay. So you're already looking at hockey, huh?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, you did some good work. I like what you pointed out about the Rangers and the colors. Yeah, because we've seen that. They did it with the Chiefs a couple of years ago, and the Golden State Warriors, remember?
Yes.
The Rams.
And Ukraine.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else?
One more thing. Black History Month's flags, the color is red, yellow, and green. And then the first Super Bowl with 2 black quarterbacks was the Chiefs, who have the red and yellow, and then the Eagles, the green.
Say that one more time, because I lost you.
Oh. The Black History flag is the colors are red, yellow, and green. And then the first Super Bowl with 2 black quarterbacks was the Chiefs versus the Eagles. The Chiefs have red and yellow, and then the Eagles have green.
That's dope. I didn't realize that. That's nice. I like that. Wow. Okay. And yeah, they had the 2 black quarterbacks. Okay. Yeah, that was also on Abraham Lincoln's birthday. The man who's supposed to be free the slaves. I mean, the mockery, right?
Yeah, and then Hurts played for Lincoln Riley in college and was drafted by the team that plays in Lincoln Financial.
Yeah, he's from the city of brotherly love. Brothers, black people. Yeah, these people have a sick sense of humor, man. Yeah, but what they're doing this year with the World Series is even more sickening because think about how many people died on September 11th, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this is what they do all the time, though. Think about how many people died at the Travis Scott tragedy, and they pay tribute to that event. So it's the same thing every year. All right, man. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for the call, though.
All right, thank you.
All right. Yeah, shout out to that caller, man. He made a lot of great observations. So he likes the Rangers for a couple of reasons. Yeah, but like I said, the National League, they have 51 World Series. If they win, they'll pick up that 52nd. Texas Rangers equals 52. So, they do have a narrative, the Diamondbacks. They haven't won in 22 years. Last time they won was in 2001. If anybody else wants to call in, the number is 646-986-0958. If not, we can close it out, and I can get back to work. Yeah, these people are something else, man. A versus T. Yeah, but this is what I was looking at. What's this guy's name? Bruce Bochy, whatever his name is. Actually, no, I'll do it this way. Date of birth. So he's 68 years old. That's funny. Oh man, 1968. So yeah, so April 16th is his birthday. You see, November 3rd, that'll be Game 6, 201 days after his birthday. Order of Illuminati, 201. That's if it goes to 6. All right. 1955. Yeah, we spoke about that. Yep. Yep, that was another reason I liked the Rangers to go against the Philadelphia Phillies because he was born on the 106 on the day, what is it, the 106th day of the year. That's the Philadelphia Phillies number. You know what I like about these games? It's just amazing how people don't catch on, right? it's like once the games are over, right, and especially in these championship games, right, like whenever the World Series is gonna end, you're gonna see these people put on these shirts and these hats, and they never get to show you the other team, right? If the other team would have won, because those shirts and hats were never made, right? And people don't catch on to that. People just assume that those shirts and hats are somewhere in the locker room, and that the MLB is gonna throw those hats away because let's say Arizona lost, like if they let's say the World Series goes to Game 7, people assume that both teams have championship shirts somewhere in the locker room, and that's not the case. Because the MLB is rigged, it's scripted. They already know who's going to win, and they're only going to make shirts for the winner. They're not going to make shirts for both teams because it's scripted, right? But people just assume that they have shirts for both teams, even though they never show you the other team. They always show you after the game is over. Players putting on the hats and shirts, right? Oh, World Series champions, Texas Rangers. But they'll never show you the other team. It's just amazing. And they do that every single year in every single sport. Hello?
Hey, what's good?
Thanks, man. Thank you for the call.
Not chill. I bet on the Phillies tonight. I lost some money, but it's chill.
Yeah, I lost some money too. It happens.
Yeah, I'd be like that. So, dude, for the World Series, I've been seeing that I watched Gematria, that Dallas Cowboys are going to win Super Bowl this year. And I think the Rangers are going to win just because it's for 9/11 anniversary. It's been 21 years. The 119th World Series, that's 9/11, and George Bush is from Texas.
Yeah, we spoke about that stuff in the beginning.
Yeah. Also, it's the year Skull and Bones, 223, and George Bush and his father were both in Skull and Bones.
And he's 77 years old, the big number with September 11th.
77?
Yeah, he's 77, and then the Diamondbacks just advanced on the 77th day numerology, and that was the big number. Remember, Flight 77 hit the 77th Pentagon, the 77th meridian. That was a big number, 9/11, 77.
Oh, that's true.
You write out September 11th, World Trade Center, they both equal 77.
Oh, damn. Okay, I forgot about that. I've been following you on Instagram for a while. I have one of your books. I read it.
Did you like it?
Yeah, it was called Gematria, The Killing Name.
Yes. Yeah, I wrote it two years ago.
Yeah, no, it was a great book, great read.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah. So I got who do you got for the NBA Finals?
It's too early for that. I'll probably have a decode on there like around March.
March.
Yeah, because I like to put all the clues together first.
Yeah, no, it is too early. That's true. That's true.
It's the 78th NBA season or the 77th? No, it's just, I think it's 79th or 78th. It's one of those two.
Yeah, and Luka Doncic is 77. So could it be Dallas Mavericks?
Yeah, like I said, it's too early.
No, it can't be that big.
It's just a little too early.
They're not gonna have 3 Dallas teams. Like that'd be too obvious.
It's never too obvious. Think about what they did with Tampa Bay, and remember when the Tampa Bay Rays went to the World Series? They had the Buccaneers in the Super Bowl, and then they had the Lightning in the Stanley Cup. They did do this a lot.
Oh, you're right. Sure.
But did you notice how in the NBA, the day that games the date of Game 7 of the Arizona versus the Philadelphia Phillies, in the NBA they have the Phoenix Suns versus the Golden State Warriors, who are from Philadelphia. So it just shows you how scripted all of these leagues are. They're all connected.
They are, yeah, because Warriors are originally from Philadelphia, yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And Kobe Bryant's from Philadelphia. And
yeah, that was another reason I thought the Phillies was gonna be in there because of this. The 41 day numerology. I was like, look at that. Is that a tribute to Kobe or is it a tribute to USA?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I thought that too. It's like fuck. It's hard to tell sometimes.
Yeah, it is hard.
Do you know Zach, the other Gematria dude?
Yeah.
Yeah, Zach is crazy. That dude knows everything.
All right. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
So I heard this. LeBron is going to play till he's 42 years old because LeBron James equals 42 and 42 equals slavery. And
Yeah, I posted that the other day on my Instagram. He wants to play until his youngest son is eligible to go to the NBA. And you know what's funny about that? That will be his 24th season and his 8th season with the Lakers.
Oh, 24-8, Kobe.
Yeah, that would be that. So that I think that is what's gonna happen. He's gonna retire at the age of 42.
Oh, that makes sense. And then he'll play with LeBron.
That's crazy. That's a crazy.
And then, dude, yeah, and the headlines will be LeBron playing with his dad, LeBron. Damn.
Yeah, they'll probably suck that year, and then they'll probably have a good draft pick, and they'll probably pick one of his sons.
Yeah, I also heard a possibility because LeBron wants to own a team like in Las Vegas. So if let's say like a team comes up in Las Vegas and LeBron owns it, then he can draft Bronny. I heard that.
Yeah, well, he probably could end up coaching one of his teams.
Yeah, I think LeBron would be a good coach. But yeah.
Yep.
All right, we'll appreciate it. Thanks.
All right, thanks a lot, man. Appreciate the call.
All right, got you. Peace out.
All right, we can end it there. Shout out to everybody who joined us today. Thanks to the super chat. Appreciate that. And yeah, let's see what happens. And like I said, both teams have a narrative. So if you're gonna bet on the World Series, I recommend that you do it game by game, and don't try to stress yourself out trying to predict it now, because you don't want to get disappointed at the end. Because they are making this stuff really tricky for some reason. Oh, I know the reason. It's because they know there's a community out there of people solving this shit. Because think about it. Why else would Bryce Harper's name equal 119? Why his name is 119? Like, what other reason? Maybe he dies on November 9th or something, right? But you guys take care. Thank you. And I'll see you next time. Peace.